Good morning and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation. With me, your host, Owen, guys, the channel that brings you your team every single day. The channel that is run by the fans for you, the fan. Right, guys, we've got obviously lots of news to get through again this morning. Lots of transfer speculation regarding players like Cifuentes, Frigan. We've got news on Kamara as well. Michael Beale has come out and talked about the Kamara situation at the club. A little bit of that later. Also want to talk a little bit about a little bit of housekeeping to start off with. Though. First of all, I want to move a massive vote of thanks to these subscribers to the channel: Rangers loyalist Alexander, Jim Sloan, and Brian. Thank you to them for their generosity last night on the podcast with myself and Marina Ballantyne. These four guys donated and supported the channel through use of super chats and super stickers. Thank you so much for your generosity, guys. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you. It really, it blows me away that you guys support the channel the way you do. And I'm just blown away by your support. I want to thank you so much for your generosity last night. Huge shout out to you four guys for that. And I remind, if you haven't yet checked it out, please go back and check out the podcast live with myself and Marina Ballantyne from Heart and Hand. Marina came on the show last night, talked all things Glasgow Rangers, talked about the St Mirren game, talked about the future players, signings, Alfie, her love of Alan McGregor, her love of Todd Cantwell, amongst other things. And if you want to follow Marina on Twitter, that is how you find it, at Marina Ballantyne. She is from Heart and Hand. She's fantastic, loves Rangers, great to get involved with. Please hit her up for a follow on Twitter. Well, let's get straight on with the Rangers news now. Now, rumours have obviously come out of the club regarding a number of strikers that Rangers are reportedly interested in. Obviously, one of the big ones coming out was the rumours around Anastasios Duvakis, and those rumours are persisting and continuing this morning that Rangers have registered an interest in FC Utrecht striker Duvakis. However, it now emerges as well that Rangers have a reported interest in a Croatian striker, a young Croatian striker. This guy here called Matija Frigan, I think his name is pronounced. He is a Croatian youth international. Well, what do we know about Matija Frigan? Let's have a look. He's 20 years old. He is 6'1". So again, fits into that criteria, doesn't he? The big, solid players that we're looking for. It does seem that Michael Beale is quite intent on building a team of giants next season. Obviously, Dujon Sterling over 6 foot. Jack Butland, who is rumoured to be one of the next signings, 6'5". Kieran Dowell over 6 foot. Again, looking for these big, powerful players, and certainly Frigan would fit in with that criteria at 6'1". He currently plays for Rijeka in Croatia. And has played for them since the beginning of his career. He came through the youth system at Rijeka and has represented Croatia at under 18 and under 19 level, been particularly successful at under 19 level for Croatia, scoring 5 goals in 12 games. Well, what do we know about this kid, about Frigan? Well, he can play centre forward, he can play left wing, and he can play right wing. So he can play in any one of those front 3 places, again, fitting that criteria. Fitting the fact that Beale is very much for these hybrid players, these players that can play in a number of different positions. And he certainly is someone here who obviously can do that. Now, as you can see from his record on that left-hand side of the screen there, as you look at it, you can see that he has obviously played for Rijeka under 17s and 19s. He also went to NK Orient, then back to Rijeka, then HRV Draglio. I can't pronounce that, guys. That's a difficult pronunciation for this time in the morning. And then obviously Rijeka again, and then represented Rijeka's first team this season. He's had a particularly successful season for Rijeka as well. This is his league record in the Croatian Super League. He's made 27 appearances, scoring 14 goals and 3 assists. So that contributes to 17 goal contributions in 27 games, which for a centre forward is a pretty phenomenal return. He also likes to get stuck in clearly. He has 5 yellow cards as well to add into that. Now, what makes that goal return and that assist record even more impressive is the fact that he has only played 69% of the starting 11. So obviously has come off the bench and has not obviously always played, but has still recorded a pretty impressive goal haul in that time. He's played 66% of Rijeka's minutes this season and had a 39% contribution to their goals. Over a third of their goals have come from the involvement of Mattia Frigan. As well as that, if you look at his stats a bit wider than that, obviously you can see the stats from the Super Sport League, which we've already shared with you. He played in the UEFA Champions League qualifiers, 2 appearances in that. He also played in the National Cup, 2 appearances and a goal, giving him a total for the season of 31 appearances, 15 goals, 3 assists, 5 yellow cards, 18 goal contributions in 31 games. Certainly a very impressive return from the young Croat. Now, it is being very staunchly rumoured that this guy is interesting Rangers. Certainly he would appear to fit the type of player that Michael Beale is looking for. That big striker, that hybrid player who can play in a number of different positions. Now, reportedly, Rijeka have put a £5.2 million price tag on Mattia Frigan. This is according to Football Insider. Now, apparently there is no official bid as yet been made, but Rangers have already made inquiries about Frigan. He has 2 years remaining on his present contract. After signing a senior deal with Rijeka last season. Now, apparently, he has already been in Zagreb for talks with Dinamo Zagreb over a potential move. Now, the Croatian club Dinamo Zagreb have apparently put in a £3 million bid for Frigan, which obviously is well below the 5.2 which the club are looking for. He's obviously a Croatian youth international who is predicted to do good things and actually progress to the Croatian full national team. So even though Dinamo Zagreb have tabled this bid of $3 million, apparently it is not yet a done deal, and Rangers could well move in and even trump this bid, as they have obviously clearly put an interest in the player. He does seem a very talented player, a player who will contribute goals, a physical player, certainly someone who as well, would fit in with Antonio Čolak, 2 Croatians together. Again, could be a selling point for the club. So Mattia Frigan is the latest striker to be linked with a move to Rangers over this summer. So guys, I'd love to know what you think. What are your thoughts on it? To me, he seems like a good player. He seems like a quality player, someone who scores goals. The 17 goal contributions are very good indeed. Again, as well, he fits in with the player trading model. He's a young player. He's 20 years old. He can be developed. He's not at the peak of his career yet, and quite clearly he's doing very well at this age. Now, a 20-year-old having 17 goal contributions, 14 goals. Yes, I know Croatia is a lesser league. I get that. But at the end of the day, he's clearly someone who knows what the target is, and that are skills that can be honed and developed even further by the coaches at Rangers. And I've got no doubts that Michael Beale and his staff could do that, given what an outstanding coach Beale clearly is. Okay, so Frigan to me seems like a very strong possibility, and also a very good signing if Rangers decide to put in an official bid for him over the next week or so. Well, obviously the Jose Cifuentes transfer saga certainly rolls on, doesn't it? Now, Cifuentes has 2 very important games coming up with the CONCACAF, effectively CONCACAF, or it's a bit longer than that, I find it difficult to pronounce. 2-legged Champions League final to come up for this young man. Cifuentes has been heavily linked with Rangers, and on his social media has talked about his desire to move to Scotland, and has even interacted with Rangers fans online, which is very interesting that he is obviously clearly taking an involvement. Now, according to a number of transfer websites and a number of media outlets, the deal is they describe 95% done to bring Cifuentes to Glasgow. Apparently, it looks very, very close that this Ecuadorian star will be coming to Rangers this summer. He's 24 years old, and he has been obviously the subject of very intense speculation over the fact that he is one of Michael Beale's top targets. Now, Michael Beale was exceptionally clever in a press conference when asked about the Cifuentes deal. He said he was asked, "Is the deal imminent?" He said, well, he's still, obviously the MLS season runs to December and he's not out of contract until December, so I wouldn't call it exactly imminent. But at no point during that statement did he deny the club were interested in Cifuentes or even after Cifuentes. So I think there is a clear desire within the Rangers front office and also within the coaching staff and Michael Beale to bring Cifuentes to Glasgow. A number of Ecuadorian media outlets have also claimed that Cifuentes is exceptionally close to a move to Rangers and say there is just one final hurdle to overcome. Now, according to one of the Ecuadorian news outlets, the deal is 95% done, and all that is needed is for the 15 times capped Ecuadorian international to sign the contract. This may well be done after the 5th of June, which is the second leg even of the Conca Champions fixture versus Lyon. Now, Cifuentes at the moment has missed out on a few games for LAFC, missing out to, rather ironically, Timothy Tillman, brother of Malik. But he's expected to feature in this final. Everything seems to be heading towards the arrival of the Ecuadorian in Glasgow, but obviously no deal will be done until after this final that takes place, the LAFC against Lyon. Fabrizio Romano has already confirmed that the deal is imminent. And if anyone should know in football, it is Fabrizio Romano. For those of you who don't know who Fabrizio Romano is, he is an Italian sports journalist, Italian football journalist who works for Sky Italia, who seems to have the in with a number of clubs, sources at a number of clubs. And when deals are about to be done, when transfers are about to be done, it does seem that Romano is the man in the know and does seem to find out all the key information on these transfers. Now, the issue we have at this moment in time over Cifuentes is the fact that he is not out of contract to December. However, it appears that Rangers want to bring Cifuentes to Glasgow before the January transfer window, where he will be free. LAFC are also keen to sell Cifuentes and not lose out on any money for him. Now, apparently, he is rated at £6 million. However, the fact that he will be out of contract in December means it is highly likely that there is a zero chance that LAFC will get the $6 million from any team, as they all will just say, well, we'll wait till December then and get him for nothing. So it does appear that a nominal fee will be paid for Cifuentes to secure his services. And apparently this is what Rangers are intending on doing, in paying a nominal fee for the services of Cifuentes. So at least LAFC can say that they have got some money for the Ecuadorian star. Well, guys, again, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on Cifuentes. I think, again, he is someone who can really come. He can add to our midfield. He can bring some quality to that midfield. If you imagine a midfield of Raskin and Cifuentes and Cantwell, or even Raskin, Cifuentes and Lawrence, you've got some real talent there. Cifuentes is a number 8. He's a player who can not only tackle and cover, but he can also get forward, be creative, score goals. He's certainly someone who could really add to this midfield and someone I would really like to see in a Rangers shirt next season. Given the fact he is a very forward-thinking, attacking player, he would fit in with Raskin, he would fit in with Cantwell, he would fit in with Lawrence. All those modern midfielders that we have got at the club were very forward-thinking. And we all know that lot from across the city don't like it when we go at them, when we get after them, when we get in their faces. As we saw in Europe this season, where they folded very easily, that is the way to get after them. That is the way to beat them. And a player like Cifuentes, I think, would really aid Rangers in overtaking our city rivals. Now, obviously, when manager Michael Beale selected his team for the Hearts game, the final home game at Ibrox on that Wednesday night, it seemed that he was giving a nod to a number of players who would be leaving the club in the summer. Obviously, Alan McGregor started the game, Alfredo Morella started the game, and Michael Beale did say that had he not been nursing an injury, Scotty Arfield would have started the game. Obviously, Philip Helander and Ryan Kent couldn't because they were both injured. Now, one selection that seemed to perplex a number of fans and a number of pundits was the selection of Glenn Kamara. Why Kamara? Why, when he'd been out of favour pretty much since the Viaplay League Cup final, why was Kamara brought into the team? It now seems as if it was an opportunity for Kamara to say goodbye to the fans. This has come on the back of a story in the media today that Kamara will be sold this summer by Rangers. Well, that is certainly the intention if they can find a buyer. Michael Beale, it's said, has revealed that Glenn Kamara will probably be sold this summer. Like I said, the problem obviously is that, yes, we can want to sell the player, but you've got to have a buyer. And if no one wants to come in and buy him, then because the player is still under contract, you have to keep that player. Now, he's under contract until summer 2025. So he's under contract not until, obviously, until next summer, but the summer after that. Michael Beale has already hinted, hasn't he, that a number of long-serving players could well be on their way out this summer if there are buyers for them. And certainly James Bisgrove and also Michael Beale have alluded to the fact that they have received phone calls about Rangers players. Now, we all know that Kamara came close to leaving in January when a bid from Nice was rejected for him, which seemed to lead to him downing tools, so to say. But Beale has now confirmed that the Finland international is likely to follow Alan McGregor, Alfredo Morelos, Ryan Kent, Philip Helander and Scott Arfield out of the Ibrox door. This is what Beale had to say when he was talking to the media. Beale said, for Glenn, everything is open, really. He is either going to be here for a considerable future or we will probably sell him in the summer. I think he needs to look at the competition that's here in the preseason and decide whether there is going to be enough football for him. It's not my sole decision. It's the decision of the board and everyone in between to make sure we make Rangers stronger and take us in a positive direction over the next 3 to 5 years. Who are going to be the main players in that? We spoke about the boys and the other night, and Glenn and one or two others have been the bedrock of a championship winning team and a team that went to a European final. It's now important that we rebuild another team. And that, I think, is one of the key things that he says there. We rebuild another team. Quite clearly a hint that, at the end of the day, he is looking to move him on and get rid of Kamara. Now, obviously, this would provide some funds. Also, if we can get 1 to 2 million from him, I know that is a lot less than Nice offered in January, but it's still got to be considered in terms of the fact that Kamara contributed to 55, he contributed to the Europa League run, and he only cost us £50,000. So it would return a decent profit on the player, I think, even 1 to 2 million. Well, guys, let me know what you think of that. Do you think Kamara should be sold? Personally, I think it's time for him to move on. I think it's time he went. I think he has kind of moved past his usefulness for Rangers, for want of a better phrase. He just doesn't seem to have his heart be in it anymore. And I think that was shown by that performance on Wednesday night. It's time for Kamara to move on from Rangers and find a new challenge. That's my belief. And like I said, feel free to disagree with me. If you're a big Glenn Kamara fan, let me know in the comments below and let me know why you think he should remain with the club. So obviously a few links and a few bits of transfer rumours, and obviously lots of different things going on as regards players coming into the club. Philip Helander, obviously, as I revealed the other day, is going to train with Malmo as he seeks to regain his fitness. Apparently, a Turkish side have now come in for him as well. Samsunspor who've just been promoted to the Turkish Super League, apparently are interested in securing the services of Philip Helander. Obviously, if that was to happen, there's a likelihood he could obviously join Alfredo Morelos, who is interesting Galatasaray, and Ryan Kent, who is interesting Fenerbahce, a real Rangers reunion maybe in Turkey. Well, guys, thank you so much again for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. Please continue to hit that sub, ring that notification bell. If you set it to all, you won't miss out on any of the podcasts, the videos, the live streams, any of the information that comes out from this channel over the summer. And like I said to you before, we are not going anywhere over the summer. We are not giving up. We are not stopping or breaking. We will keep going over the summer, bringing you your daily fix of Glasgow Rangers and all the news, views and updates surrounding our fantastic club. Once again, thank you for all your support. Victoria and I are truly blown away by everything you do for the channel, your comments, your subscriptions, everything, guys. It's just amazing. Thank you so much for all that. And remember, guys, we are here for you. We are a fan-driven channel. Victoria and I are fans doing it for you, the fans. And if you want to get in contact with us, all our information is scrolling on the bottom of the screen now at GRN1872 on Twitter, Glasgow Rangers Nation on Instagram, Facebook group, Glasgow Rangers Nation Official. TikTok, Glasgow Rangers Nation. You want to email us, get in touch with the pod, glasgowrangersnation@gmail.com. If you want to suggest some content you want us to cover or someone you want us to look into, let us know. You want to buy us a coffee, www.buymeacoffee.com, or you can hit the super thanks button below this video. Thank you so much for watching again, guys. I'm back to speak to you again here on the channel Glasgow Rangers Nation very soon indeed. And remember, we are the people.